Hello there, my fellow Disney fan, and welcome to the wonderful world of Disney travel secrets. Rob and Kerri Stuart here in the Creating Magic Vacation studio in Windermere, Florida. This is episode number 395, original air date September 9th, 2024.
And summer is over. So guess what that means? It is time for you to get your 2025 vacation on the books.
You need something to look forward to, and we have several trips on the books for us next year and even into 2026.
I know, which is so crazy, right?
We never do that. No.
Plus, we do have our weekly updates from our Food and Wine 2024 adventure.
Hello, my friends. This is former Disney Imagineer Hugh Darley, and you're listening to Disney Travel Secrets with my friends Rob and Kerri Stuart. As you can imagine, I have plenty of Disney secrets myself, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get this show on the road. Take it away, guys.
Okay, I'm going old school with my All Aboard TV shirt for those of you that are watching us on our YouTube channel.
That is old school.
We had a great time filming that show. That was back in the day and kind of really got us further into travel. It's before we started the podcast. It's before we started the agency. So.
And you can see some of those videos right here on this YouTube channel if you want to go back into the archives. A lot of them are mostly cruising for sure.
They are. So welcome to another fun show. It was great being able to see one of our new agents, Travis, at Epcot last week. Also, a great client of ours, Bob. And it's really why we moved here next to Disney.
I know. And it was so hot. Otherwise, I think we would have been able to see everyone else. We would have loved that because a lot of our clients and agents were in town just for the opening weekend of Food and Wine. So welcome to fall, kind of officially, maybe.
Okay, yeah. That means it is football season. And in show 393, we mentioned where to watch your favorite teams, pro or college.
And that is at Disney. But with the NFL season officially underway now, we've decided to put a little fun on our Instagram. So if you would like to see our dream professional football team, that is all Disney characters, go over and check those out. We had a lot of fun putting those together.
We did. It is fun also to see how more than any other brand, you can bring Disney into everything, t-shirts, all those kind of things. Yeah.
It's so crazy, but it has been one of the funnest things living close to Disney, and that is seeing Disney everywhere. I mean, everyone's carrying Loungeflies. It's totally normal to wear a Disney t-shirt. Yeah, it's everywhere.
It is. Also, a reminder that Disney Destiny goes on sale to everyone on September 12th. If you do have status, you can book just a bit earlier.
This is going to be another great ship. And if cruising all the Disney ships is on your list, like it is on ours, we would love to help you.
Other than Treasure, we don't have that on the books. We still need to do the fantasy. But maybe your kids have left the nest and you're looking for your next career, or you're looking back on this past year thinking you would love to consider another career option. You're in luck, because if you want to get into the travel industry, we are actively bringing on new agents.
Super excited about this because we are about to start our exclusive program to help our agents kick off their new year with a bang. And this training is key. So if you've ever wanted to be a travel advisor and stop doing that unpaid consulting on Disney vacations for your friends,
a lot of you do that.
Then let's definitely chat.
We do have limited spots available. It's as simple as requesting more information. Just head over to creatingmagicvacations.com and click on Join Our Team.
And we really do pride ourselves in doing things different at Creating Magic Vacations than any other agency out there. And I believe we have one of the best teams in the industry. Not everyone is a fit for us, and the right ones definitely have joined our team.
Now let's do a couple of food and wine updates. This past week, we decided to enter through the front of the park. Normally, we kind of go in the back, but this time we went into the front of the park. Again, we like doing the entrance by the Skyliner, but we couldn't park over there for whatever reason. But most people will be coming through the front because that's where the main parking is. Our plan that day was to go to a couple of the booths up front, just past Spaceship Earth.
And because we are testing that $75 per person per day that we shared on last week's show, we went for the value beer stop for Rob at first, and we went to a regular kiosk that has 20-ounce beers instead of the 12 at the booths for a similar price, at least within $1.
It was close. We then went to the Festival Favorites booth to get a favorite we enjoyed last year. The pork rinds with pimento cheese.
So good.
And this booth is right outside of Communicore Hall.
And the portion is actually pretty good on this one. Perfect for sharing. And then I got the 2-ounce Chardonnay and it was $6. So overall, that was a pretty good stop.
And yes, you got the wine price correct on this one.
On this
Yeah,
one.
on this one. We're loving all the high tops and the shaded area that's over kind of behind the stage at Communicore. And that's where that booth is. Inside, they really should be doing, I think, lectures, but we know that doesn't pay the bills. They need to sell stuff.
Good point.
Merch.
But after that, we headed over to find the booth with Kurt Russell's Gogi Pinot Noir. Now, this booth had another dish that we wanted to try. We'll definitely be back. We didn't get it, but for now, we just did the wine and one dish.
We did discover two things about that. Number one, it is the 2014 Birdie variety, and that a 2-ounce pour was $16.
Okay. I totally misread that as $6.
Yeah.
It was really good though. And you have to admit that I was kind of going very slow on enjoying that wine because I wanted to get my $16 out of it.
You were just sniffing it.
But we also did get the roasted veggies there, and those were only $5. They were really, really good. And because you still had your large beer, that kind of lasted for both those booths. So that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so basically 2 booths, and our spend was the Pinot Noir 2-ounce pour with the veggie little appetizer was $21. The pork rinds and Chardonnay $12. My Yangling 20-ounce beer was $10.50. I got another one later, a Bud Light 16-ounce, and that was $9.25.
So basically 2 booths, a couple of drinks for $52.75, and that was with the sharing. So that was about $26 per person, which if we wanted to keep going, we had $50 each to spend.
Well, plus our agent Travis bought us around on top of that, so thank you, Travis. All in all, it was a really good day. I mean, keep in mind, it was very hot, and many dishes are hot dishes, so those don't sound good in the hot sun, and we really don't eat that much in general.
I know. The weather definitely makes a difference, but we will keep reporting back on what we are enjoying at the festival, and we aren't going to be in the parks this week, though, because right now we are in the Bahamas at a conference.
Yes, it is one of the many perks of being in the travel industry. We have to do the research for you. So yes, we are at Sandals Royal Bahamian for some travel meetings.
Speaking of which, research says you need to have something to look forward to all the time. Why? Because your brain likes knowing there's a reward out there. And the worst thing you can do is delay having vacations and adventures on your calendar because you're thinking, you'll just wait until, whatever until is. And I heard this really great little clip from Jesse Itzler this past week, and he put it a great way.
If you don't prioritize adventure, if you don't prioritize newness, you get a calendar filled up with responsibilities and appointments. And then the years go by and the average American gains 2 pounds a year from 35 to 60 or something like that. Now all of a sudden you're 40, 50 pounds overweight, you're in your 60s, and you can't go back and do the things you love to do. I just climbed Mount Washington. When I got to the summit, there were no 70-year-olds up there. The window shrinks fast. So it's important to me to build that non-traditional life resume and create these opportunities, moments, and experiences.
And if you don't know who he is an incredible entrepreneur and overall great human being. And his wife is Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx and the inventor of my new favorite heels, which, yes, I will be doing a test and I'm going to wear them in the parks, and more on that in a future show.
We did give them a test run. We went to a Porsche Club meeting last week, and
they were a hit with the ladies there.
They were definitely a hit. And thank you to Jesse's wife for costing us more money because those shoes were not inexpensive. Nice tease on the shoes. Anyway, so having a trip on the books really does help you when you have, I don't know, a bad day, a bad week, a bad month. We all have them sometimes.
And we always say that travel will change you and inspire you, whether it's a simple trip to Disney for the weekend or a grand adventure on a cruise or even a trip with Adventures by Disney. Why not get out there and have new adventures?
And there's no doubt that Walt Disney was inspired by his travels all over the world. And it really started as a young boy in Marceline, Missouri, with his absolute fascination with trains, and that fascination continued through his entire life.
And it is no surprise that they were a big inspiration at not just Disneyland, but also Walt's house.
And even Walt's trip to Europe, I'd say particularly in the 1930s and 50s, not the 40s because of the war and stuff like that, but had a huge impact on his theme park designs. So during a family trip in 1952, Walt visited the very hard to pronounce Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, which we all know was the influence for the iconic Sleeping Beauty castle over at Disneyland.
And his visit to Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen in 1951 also left a lasting impression, inspiring elements of Disneyland's cleanliness and family-friendly atmosphere and really just overall charm.
In 1941, Walt embarked on a goodwill tour of Latin America, which resulted in the creation of films like Saludos Amigos and, of course, The Three Caballeros. This trip not only expanded Disney's cultural horizons, but also inspired attractions like the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring said Three Caballeros.
It's so good.
Over at Mexico at Epcot.
And Walt's visit to the Swiss Alps and the Matterhorn Mountain in 1958 directly led to the creation of the Matterhorn bobsleds attraction at Disneyland. So thank you, Bob Gurr.
Yes, Bob.
And similarly, his trips to New Orleans in the 1940s inspired the development of New Orleans Square, which captures the essence of the French Quarter.
And for those who traveled to the 1964 New York World's Fair, they got to experience some new advancements that probably inspired a lot of their trips to Disneyland. Things like great moments with Mr. Lincoln attraction, featuring, as you know, a lifelike animatronic figure of Abe Lincoln. And that's what showcased that technology. The innovation itself was pivotal in the development of future attractions, including, of course, the Hall of Presidents right here in our backyard at Walt Disney World.
Or imagine going there and seeing Carousel of Progress. And if you were a young child, I just wonder how many young people, or even more of the seasoned people, were inspired by this theater just because they traveled to the fair.
During a trip to Germany in 1957, Walt encountered the Allweg monorail system in just outside of Munich. And this experience inspired him to bring the monorail technology to Disneyland. Again, thank you, Bob Gurr, resulting in the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere.
As hard as Walt Disney worked, he always made time for travel and having new experiences. It not only broadened his horizons, but also provided a wealth of inspiration that he incorporated into his films, the theme parks, and the attractions. And it was his journeys around the world that helped shape the immersive, culturally rich experiences that millions of Disney fans like you and I enjoy today.
And even today, the Imagineers travel to the actual destinations for the attractions or rides they're working on. For example, going to the Himalayan mountains while building that section of Animal Kingdom. I can only imagine the passport stamps that Joe Rohde and his team had just from developing that park alone.
I know. And what I love about Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and even Batuu is that Disney has made it where you can kind of visit those destinations because they've made them so real all in one place, which is another great reason to visit Disney.
A little side note, you cannot travel to another planet like Batuu.
Yes, you totally travel to
totally
Batuu.
Cannot travel. But like you need a reason to book your next vacation. So this week we want to inspire you to take action and get your 2025 Disney vacation or Disney vacations with an S booked now.
And feel free to write these ideas down unless you're driving. Safety first, always.
Here are some of the top reasons to book now. You can secure the best rooms for cruises, the best itineraries, cabins, and prices. The resorts can, will, and do fill up. Key days like that winter break during the Run Disney events, and like we just saw recently, 3-day weekends with a Monday holiday.
Yeah, when you are booking this far out, it is so important. And it's a good reason to not put it off because I've seen people get very disappointed when they want to book the Poly and the Poly be full.
Poly be gone.
Yeah. And if you have that like dream to stay there, it's best to just do it now for 2025.
Our motto, it's always best to book it and be able to change it or cancel it if you need to, than to want it and not be able to get it.
And reason number 2 is if you book now for 2025, this is a really cool tip. You can plan your days off around work and grab those long 3-day weekends and do multiple trips and get it on the books before other people in your company grab those days. So if you're good about braving the crowds on those 3-day weekends and maybe you want to hit like all 4 festivals, this is a great strategy to turn like 4 days into an actual 9-day actual vacation. Because then you just take Tuesday and Friday off. There's a whole strategy there. Reason number 2 is when you book now, you can plan your days off around your work schedule and grab those long weekends. And the cool thing is you can get your vacation requests in before other people in your office do if you do it now.
Yeah, if you can brave the crowds. And like we just said with this strategy, you can turn 4 days into 9 actual vacation days by just taking off Tuesday through Friday. If you get Thanksgiving Day and the day after on Friday off, you can turn 3 days into 9 days.
Definitely don't let your vacation days or paid time off go to waste. It's a common reason people don't want to get behind on a project, but it's not worth it.
Next up, maybe you want to do the festival challenge and visit all 4 festivals at Epcot throughout the year. The slowest and one of our favorites is definitely Festival of the Arts. And we have plenty of pictures on the wall to prove that.
Yeah, and it's good. Just plan it out now. Now, reason number 4, if you want to travel with other people, it is way easier when you can plan further out if you want more people to join you. And one of the questions that we always ask our clients is, can you think of anyone that may want to join you?
So we've done 2 trips with the same family, one last year and one earlier this year, which was our cruise in Paris. And we already have a trip next year with them to Montana and even a cruise that leaves from Budapest, and it's on the Danube River. And that is in 2026.
Yeah, so we're taking our own advice and really getting a ton on the books in advance.
Next up at number 5 is budgeting. And this is a big one. You can pay over time. And this may help you enjoy a longer, maybe more expensive vacation with no interest.
Yeah, so we have a partnership with a company called Uplift that can help you if you want to travel sooner, but don't quite have the budget, or you just want to have some automatic payments happen.
Next up, it is fun to have a countdown calendar, and there are tons of options out there. Some are maybe an app. Others are just a dry erase board, and that is more interactive. That's what we use.
Yeah, no, I really like having a countdown calendar though, because it's that visual where you're like, I have a trip on the books, and it's something that's really fun for kids, whether it's, you have those little links that every day you take away one. And so visually they can get more and more excited about the vacation. I think a countdown calendar is super, super important to have if you really need to have a great trip that you are looking forward to. I know that there's some people out there that are achieving milestones. Maybe they're finishing up some treatments they're going through and they're going to go to Disney to celebrate. And just having that visual is so, so big. And even more important when that vacation seems so far away. 2025 vacations kind of seem like they're out there, but that countdown calendar makes it seem more real.
And to add to that, if you have more than 1 or 2 vacations on the books, get a countdown calendar for each one.
I know. No, seriously, so fun. And reason number 7, planning a great trip as an incentive for reaching a goal and then knowing it's already planned can be that extra motivation. It could be something like completing a big project or hitting a big sales goal.
What ideas do you have that we didn't think of? Head on over to our social media and let us know, or send us a private message. We do love hearing from you.
So next week, join us as we talk all about Disney cruises and why that may be your ideal 2025 Disney vacation, especially with all the new ship announcements.
And we have an update to the book we did in 2014 called Just Add Water, Your Guide to the Ultimate Cruise Vacation. And it's sitting right behind me for those on YouTube.
And I think we should even do another giveaway of some festival merch this time next week. So subscribe to our show, and next week you can learn what you need to do to enter.
Also, if you'll do us a favor and follow us on YouTube if you already don't. Sometimes we do show and tell, like me pointing to the book back there that is sitting next to Marty Sklar's book.
And as always, planning a vacation can be stressful, especially if it's a last minute one. Or maybe you're like, I need some ideas and inspiration for 2025. And in some cases, we are booking into 2026. Reach out to us or your Creating Magic Vacations travel advisor. We'll take away all of that stress. The link is in the show description.
Something to remember, and some people don't know this, we do book all types of travel, not just Disney. Until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.